delays leading to the anticipated nationwide deployment of its presidential compressed natural gas buses and tricycles to replace the petrol-powered ones on May 29. In a statement released today, the program director of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemiga, said the federal government will embark on an extensive pre-launch schedule aimed at engaging stakeholders and showcasing critical gas supply projects to foster sustainable energy solutions and reduce carbon emissions. It added that the 15-day activity will engage Southwest stakeholders in Lagos, while the proposed presidential virtual commissioning of the critical gas supply projects will run from May 15 to 22 at the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited outlets. The team will also embark on an inspection of the Jets and Meccano factory, along with representatives from the Labor Ministry, labor unions, and the Nigerian media. The program director added that the Luigia assembly plant for CNG tricycles will be commissioned on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, among other things.
The federal government has pleaded with labor unions not to disrupt its plans to reform the sector. The call comes amidst growing tensions between the government and labor unions over recent increases in electricity tariffs. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, while addressing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting, said that the labor unions have the right to protest, urging them to engage in peaceful protests. He added that the protesters' demands have been registered with the federal government, noting that Tinubu is committed to improving the power sector. Recall that the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress had picketed offices of the National Electricity Regulatory Commission and distribution companies nationwide over the hike in electricity tariff.
The House of Representatives has raised concerns over the status of the presidential air fleet. This comes after President Bola Tinubu had to charter a private aircraft during his recent official trips to the Netherlands and Saudi Arabia. After a motion of urgent importance by a lawmaker, Ahmad Satomi, the House feared that this puts the security of the president at risk and doesn't speak well of the country to the international community. The motion was, however, stepped down, but the relevant security committees were urged to carry out an investigation into the matter. Last week, a faulty presidential jet stopped Vice President Kashim Shettima from attending the 2024 U.S.-Africa Business Summit hosted by the Corporate Council on Africa.
Aviation's unions, including the National Union of Air Transport Employee Association of Nigeria, the Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals, and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations and Technical and Recreational Employees, have instructed Nigerian Meteorology Agency staff to begin strike action on Monday, May 20, 2024. This was disclosed in a letter dated 14th May 2024 obtained by Newscope today. The strike stems from the management's failure to address 45 months of minimum wage arrears and consequential adjustment for staff members. They also expressed their dismay that the agency staff have been awaiting the palliative payments sanctioned by the federal government since October 2023. It directed the union to withdraw all services with effect from Monday, May 20th, 2024, unless and until the outstanding 42-month arrears of consequential adjustment is fully liquidated.
Away from that, the Rivers State Commissioner for Education, Professor Chinedu Mon, has resigned from the cabinet of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Professor Mon, a loyalist of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, is the third reappointed commissioner to tender his resignation. Also, the State Commissioner for Social Welfare, Ineme Aguma, has resigned from Governor Fubara's government. Similarly, the Rivers State Commissioner for Housing, Gift Warlu, has resigned from Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration. The resignation was contained in a letter dated May 15 and directed to the governor through the office of the Secretary to the State Government, Tami Danagogo. This brings the number of commissioners who left the State Executive Council on Wednesday, May 15, to 5.
These broadcasts of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of your states, Ibadan. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has warned the 2024 Hajj pilgrims against carrying any prohibited items into Saudi Arabia. The executive chairman of NACON, Malam Jalal Arabi, issued the warning today at the inauguration of the 2024 National Hajj operations held at the Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport, Benin, Kebbi State. He emphasized the need for the pilgrims to utilize the special privilege they have to serve Allah and avoid being distracted. NACOM chairman also implored the pilgrims to avoid any conduct that would dent their image and the nation. Malam Arabi, while appreciating the Kebbi State Governor for facilitating the successful launch of the inaugural flights as scheduled, enjoined the pilgrims and NACOM officials to pray for Nigeria and its leaders.
Similarly, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has urged intending pilgrims embarking on the 2024 Hajj exercise through the state to be good ambassadors of the state and pray for the state and the country while in the Holy Land. Governor Makinde made the appeal at the farewell ceremony for Oyo State Hajj 2024 intending pilgrims. Staff reporter Dukpe Feintola was at the BCOS exhibition ground, Orita Bashoron, Ibadan, venue of the farewell ceremony.
The farewell ceremony for the 2024 Oyo State intending pilgrims had in attendance 1,070 pilgrims from across the state. In his keynote address, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, said the pilgrims should prioritize their spiritual obligations over other things while in Saudi Arabia.
Welfare àwọn èèyàn wa cannot be compromised, so you must look after every pilgrim láti Oyo State.
The governor also assured that as part of efforts to ensure the planned airlift of pilgrims from Ibadan to the Holy Land, his administration will embark on the extension of the runway of the Alakia Airport by 600 meters.
My vision is a ṣe processing níbí, wọnú plane níbí, tó bá dẹ̀ ti gbéra, Saudi Arabia ni lọ. Gbogbo àwọn kan tó yẹ ká ṣe, some of it àti ń ṣe. Wọ́n ní ká widen ọ̀nà tó wọnú airport, we've done it. Wọ́n ní ká nínú airport ká fi ibi tí wọ́n ti lè máa fi epo sínú bàálù àti ṣe. The only thing tó kù we're on it. Wípé ká extend the runway wa by another 600 meters. Ká fi ILS sí, ká dẹ̀ gbé terminal míì tí wọ́n ti lè process àwọn èèyàn. And the target is within the next 18 months.
In his lecture at the event, the Chief Imam of Ogbomoso, Sheikh Yunus Olushina Ayilara II, advised the pilgrims to make the fear of God as a priority and shun acts that are inimical to the teachings of Islam.
The purpose of today's lecture is to sensitize the intended pilgrims to be law-abiding when they get to Saudi Arabia. Secondly, is for them to follow the instructions as laid down by the Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, so that the Hajj will be performed seamlessly. Not only that, so that they will be able to acquire maximum reward from Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
In their separate remarks, Chief Bayo Oyero, Professor Kamil Olosho, Senator Monsur Asumanu, and Chief Nureni Akanbi charged the pilgrims to pray for the governor and Oyo State in general. Speaking on the efforts put in place towards ensuring an Eid-free exercise, the chairman, Pilgrims Welfare Board, Muslim Wing, Oyo State, Sheikh Wahab Atere, noted that arrangements have been concluded to make accommodations check-in easy for Oyo State pilgrims. Sheikh Atere said, Oyo State is the fourth state in the southwest and the second in the country scheduled to have all pilgrims in Saudi Arabia within the first week of the commencement of airlifting for Hajj.
I'm delighted to inform Your Excellencies that local meals have been included in the menu list of our pilgrims. It is also worthy of accommodation check-in easy for our pilgrims in Mecca, as each pilgrim will know his or her room right from Ibadan here. We have indicated their hotel and room number in each pilgrim's identity card to be worn right from Ibadan.
The event, which had in attendance the State Executive Council members, was also attended by the Chairman, Pilgrims Welfare Board, Christian Wing, Bishop Ademola Moradeyo, and the Chairman, BCOS, Mrs. Dotun Laiton, and other eminent personalities.
It's a good thing because it makes the journey very, very easier for thousands of pilgrims from Oyo State. So we appreciate him very, very much, and we pray that he succeeds in whatever he does.
He tried a lot because the chairman informed us that all the supportive role he's supposed to play, he played it. So we appreciate him.
The Chief Imam of Ibadan Land, Sheikh Abubakar Agbotomakekere, was present at the event while Sheikh Usman Lanose prayed for the governor of your state and the intending pilgrims. The first and second batch of the state pilgrims will depart from Lagos to Medina on Saturday. Dupe Feintola, BCOS News.
A Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja today granted the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, bail of 300 million naira following his arraignment on the unlawful redesign of the naira notes. He was accused of approving the printing of 684.5 million naira at the rate of 18.96 billion naira. The anti-graft agency also said Godwin Emefiele unlawfully approved the withdrawal of 124.8 billion naira from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation. The former Apex Bank chief was also said to have disobeyed the direction of law with the intent to cause injury to the public during his implementation of the Naira swap policy of the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. However, Emefiele refused any wrongdoing as he pleaded not guilty to all the count charges read to him by the Prosecution, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission before Justice Mariani Aneni. She granted him bail to the sum of 300 million naira and 2 sureties.
Operatives of the Lagos Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) have arrested 13 fake Bureau de Change operators in Lagos. A statement by the Commission's head, Media and Publicity, Delu Iwale, said they were arrested for operating without appropriate license. The suspects were arrested during sting operations by EFCC operatives between May 10 and 13, 2024. In different parts of Lagos, following credible intelligence received by the Commission about their illicit business activities. A suspected currency racketeer, Kafayat Latif, was also arrested for an alleged involvement in the sale of naira notes in different denominations. A sum of 2 million naira was recovered from her at the point of arrest. The suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded.
The Chairman Local Advisory Committee for the annual Global Yoruba History and Heritage Celebration, Dr. Tola Adenekon, has called on all Yoruba races around the globe to embrace their culture and heritage in order to revive the dying culture. Dr. Adenekon stated this after leading his members on a courtesy call to the management of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, at Bashorun, Ibadan. Our reporter, Faith Adekunle, completes the story.
The Chairman, Local Advisory Committee for the annual Global Yoruba History and Heritage Celebration, Dr. Tola Adenekon, disclosed that the purpose of his team's visit was to seek BCS support towards the commemoration of the International World Diversity, make sure all Yoruba race continually aligns with the culture and tradition, and to also come to terms with the need to celebrate our heritage globally.
The name of our organization is Foundation for the Preservation of Yoruba Culture and Heritage. We are looking at a situation whereby the entire Southwest states will be able to agree on a particular week when Yoruba Week will be celebrated. and simultaneously all Yoruba settlements across West Africa, in Europe, in Canada, in United States, and all of us we celebrate together. So wherever we are, within that week, we're going to see that we are celebrating our culture and all the values and ethics of Yoruba. I want it to exhibit in our life.
In his remarks, the special advisor to the governor of Ogun State on youth, Mr. Olamide Lawal, who also accompanied the committee chairman to BCOS, enjoined the youth to be part of the celebration, as it was designed to inculcate the culture of Yoruba into the younger generation.
All these are leaders, elders, as they are going. We are the ones coming behind them. We must have the ample information about our culture. We must detail about the culture so as to pass on to the coming generation behind us. That's the essence of it.
In a response, the Chairman Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, Mrs. Dotun Olaitan, expressed her happiness over the new establishment and also stated that it was important to embrace Yoruba's cultural heritage as well as the language.
We are excited that you are here because you are propagating the Yoruba culture, the Yoruba tradition. By the grace of God, it will not go into extinction. For the program that is coming up on the 21st of May this month, the BCOS will be a partner.
Also present at the courtesy visit included the General Manager, BCOS, Mr. Goke Adelaku, the Mayor Olubadan of Ibadan, Chief Lekan Alabi, and other members of the management. Faith Adekunle, BCOS News.
On the foreign scene, Slovakia Prime Minister Robert Fico has been shot multiple times and rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a cabinet meeting. Reports say he was hit in the stomach, arm and leg, and he was leaving a government meeting in the central town of Andlova. Police spokesman Matej confirmed the attack on the Prime Minister. Matej added that the police have detained the suspected gunman. Meanwhile, the European Union's top two chiefs have condemned the attack on the Slovak Prime Minister, adding that nothing can ever justify violence.
President Bola Tinubu has commissioned some gas infrastructure projects today in Imo State, southeast Nigeria.
Rivers State Commissioner for Education, Professor Chinedu Mon, Commissioner for Social Welfare Inimi Aguma, and the Commissioner for Housing, Gift Warlu, have resigned from Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration.
The Oyo State's Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has urged the intending pilgrims embarking on 2024 Hajj exercise through the state to be good ambassadors of the state and pray for the state and country while in the Holy Land.
In the foreign scene, Slovakia Prime Minister Robert Fico has been shot multiple times and rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries after a cabinet meeting.
Now, before I go, a 1-hour documentary on the April 27, 2024 local government elections in the state will be aired on all our stations tomorrow, 16th May, between the hours of 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. And that's all from Newscope Desk. For now, it was packaged by Mary Adedapo and delivered by
Idowu Shekoni. Good evening.
Afola Kemi Akombi. Thank you very much for joining us, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba edition at 8 o'clock tonight. Good evening.
rédíò tí ó láfiwé Olúyọ̀lé FM àwa ni bàbá.
ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ ètò níjọ.
ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ ni wọ́n fi ṣàríkọ́gbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ kò ní di tèmi bẹ́ẹ̀ni gbẹ́rù ẹlẹ́rìí lórí kí wọ́n fà tèmi dání àgbà tó jí sí kòtò ó kára yòókù lọ́gbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ ni wọ́n fi ṣàríkọ́gbọ́n. ètò ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ ní ètò tuntun tó lálẹ́ hù ní Olúyọ̀lé FM 98.5 láìtàn adé ní ìlàtọ́pọ̀ ètò ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àlàmísì láago 10 kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 5 sí aago 11 ààbọ̀ lówùúrọ̀ Thursdays 10:05 to 11:30 a.m. kékulé gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko kádàbà gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ kó gbọ́ kó sọ fún jẹ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ fi kọ́gbọ́n ètò ní tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ó ti máa lọ wájú ẹ má gbàgbé o ọjọ́ àlàmísì Thursday ìletò ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́rọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láago 10 kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 5 sí 11 ààbọ̀ lówùúrọ̀ àlàmísì láìtàn adé ní ìlàtọ́pọ̀ ètò ẹ máa gbọ́.
àkìdélé sí oníkìńlá kí oníyìn láyìn èèyàn tí ò mọ ní délé ò lè bójú lè ja oríkì ẹni débi kó kíni kórí ẹni ogún ọgbà abáago 11 bá ti ń kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 5 àárọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ìkànnì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM ilé akéde oríta Basọ̀run Ìbàdàn á tó mètìtì yàtọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe rẹ̀ bẹ́tò yín ètò wa àkìdélé látẹnu àgbà pèdèpèdè nẹ̀ Abíádémọ̀rádéyọ̀ ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà ó tún ṣe gorí atẹ́gùn lákọ̀tún ìwọlé jẹ́ ìdílé Oníkòyí kọ́ra rẹ̀ ó jẹ́ ìdílé Ọlọ́fàmọ́jọ kíní ọ̀ ń yà lọ́tọ̀ wọn ò jọra wọn èyíkéyìí ó wá wù kórìkì ìdílé tàbí tìlú rẹ̀ ó jẹ́ àfàìpè sórí ètò àkìdélé lórí ìkànnì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM ilé akéde oríta Basọ̀run Ìbàdàn lóníkálukú òní kí oríkì ìdílé tàbí tìlú ẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀rọ agbágbé ọgbà bí Abíádémọ̀rádéyọ̀ ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà bá ti kí oríkì tó mú wá délẹ̀ lẹ́yìn aráàlú náà ti láǹfààní àti pè sórí ètò kíra yín báago 11 bá ti ń kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 5 àárọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ètò àkìdélé kíngí lọ́bẹ̀ ó gé.
ọmọọba ṣé ò ní lọ síta kó lọ gbatẹ́gùn díẹ̀.
ọmọ tí rẹ mi.
ó dáná ṣì lọ síta kó lọ gbatẹ́gùn díẹ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ ọkọ mi pẹ̀lẹ́.
ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ṣé ẹ ò lérò pé yẹ kẹ́ ẹ gbé ọmọdé yìí lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn báyìí ikọ́ rẹ̀ yìí ti ń ka ọjọ́ púpọ̀ ó sì ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ru ó lè jẹ́ àìsàn ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ o.
Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kí n rírú ẹ̀ àádé yẹra báwo ló ṣe máa sọ nǹkan báyìí wípé ọmọ ọdún 5 ó ní ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́.
ṣebí ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀ ló ń gba ìtọ́jú fún àìsàn ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ báyìí ẹ lọ ṣe àyẹ̀wò kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ dájú o.
ẹgbẹ́ ká mọ ohun tí ń ṣe.
àwọn ọmọdé náà lè ní àìsàn ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ tí wọ́n bá ti ní ìfarora pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ní àìsàn ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ní àyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú àìsàn ikọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ pè nọ́mbà yìí 3340 tàbí *3340# fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. ìkéde yìí wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ àjọ tó ń mójútó ìlera tìjọba àpapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn èèyàn ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà.
The future belongs to the dreamers, the doers, to those who are not afraid